Very good. At this time, we'll call.
Did you hear that?
Yes. We'll call the regular April 20th, 2023 meeting to order for the Dickinson County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Apparently, we need to put some more on there.
Equipment repair for. Okay. We do have one item to add to the agenda, and that's a letter of support for a grant application for childcare. And with that addition, I'll move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
We have the motion, we have the second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the April 13th meeting, also expenditures of $260,793.87, utilities of $10,629.95, a special payroll check of $4,525.50, a security wire of $4,240, and checks $111.70, abatements $20,705.80, added tax $50.98, and then also credit card amount is $19,221.76.
I move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have the motion and the second for approval of the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
Yes, I did spend a little bit of time yesterday at the old jail in Salina, Kansas. And this is for the Juvenile Detention Center to be looking it over to see if there's portions of the facility that they can use in Junction City and the other 12 counties that are using that Juvenile Detention Center. So I was pretty impressed. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And obviously there's going to be a lot of costs involved, but there's a great need for this. So the board's going to go ahead and move forward with it and run their feasibilities and get cost estimates and so on and so forth. So it's looking pretty promising.
Okay, Craig.
Yeah, I'm going to be attending the Little Lions open house in Hope on Sunday. Also, just for people's notice, we won't be meeting next week. We'll be going to the KCCA convention in Hayes. All I have been.
Okay. Earlier today, we had John Holtgren in, and he gave us an update as far as the healthcare facility and EMS, and also kind of advised us some of the things that are potentially taking place, grant opportunities, and so it's kind of good just to get that update. And of course, monthly we do have some various departments come in, and this morning, for example, I mean, he's talking about what the healthcare is not an EMS response, what it looks like now, but what we should anticipate in the future. And so it gives us quite a bit to think about, especially as we approach budget time. That's all I had. We'll go ahead and move on. We do not have petitions or proclamations. This would be the opportunity for public comment. If anyone has an item to bring up, it's not on the agenda. And we do not have any public comments. We'll go ahead and move on to our report of county officers, our county administrator, Janelle.
Commissioners, as John had reported in the study session, the annual Board of EMS state inspection took place and there were no deficiencies, which that's pretty intense inspection. They look at the runs that our EMS staff have completed. They look at the trucks, they look at expiration dates for all the medicine on there. So kudos to the EMS crew for handling that. He also mentioned, and our 911 director also advised that they would be participating in a mock injury accident drill in Chapman. They're going to have a rollover accident at the Chapman High School parking lot tomorrow morning. They'll have a vehicle on its top, and they will have, the scenario is it's an intoxicated driver and the victim will be deceased. So they're going to run the rescue truck, dispatch, EMS, will all participate in this. So it's a good practice there, for that. They'll even have our coroner out there and funeral homes. So I think that would be very helpful for them. The highway department is out bid blading roads, and I'm sure if they can get back out there again, that they will. They had stopped for a while because we didn't have any rain, but last night maybe we had a little bit of rain in some other places. Also wanted to let you know they will start asphalt work on May 1st, and they're going to start around Browns Park on 1900 Avenue. So and they're doing 20 miles, I believe, of asphalt work this year around several different places in the county. The other thing I wanted to mention, and Martin had told me about it yesterday or Tuesday, it might have been Tuesday, that at Wolf Road and 1700 Avenue, somebody took a torch and cut off the 3M reflective signs on the bridge. So one, that's a safety concern because it lets you know that there is a bridge there and to use caution, but it's also damage to property. And somebody deliberately cut them. So we're trying to find out, a report will be filed, and we're trying to find out who's done that, and just wanted to let people know that this is not good behavior. I'll just leave it at that. And also 3400 Avenue is now open. They've completed that install of the tubes there. So that's all I would have.
You might, I had somebody ask me when you said Browns Park, we're just doing the county-owned road.
You're just doing the county-owned roads, yes. Yes.
You know, like we say you're doing Brown Park,
Right.
people get the assumption that we're doing it, and that's
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah, it's just around Browns Park on the county roads. Good catch.
Well, and it's unfortunate, especially when it's intentional vandalism to a sign. But, you know, obviously too, and we tell this to the townships and others,
Mhm.
anytime there's any damage, whether it's vandalism or from an accident, or if a wind has blown something down, we need to know, and our crews will go out there, especially
Mhm.
if it's a sign of utmost importance,
Yes,
like a stop sign,
Mhm.
to get that thing repaired right away.
exactly.
And, you know, maybe if it's a sign on the road, just to say what road you're on, I mean, that's, you know,
Mhm.
obviously can wait till daylight hours and be planned.
But the bottom line is to report it.
Okay. Doug,
Thank you. I have reviewed some documents from the sheriff's department from Jerry Davis, and we'll get those back to him. They're just matters that he has asked some questions about. You may recall last time I was here that there was 2 parcels of real estate that appeared at the foreclosure, or for the purpose of foreclosure, in front of Judge Rozier. And so we gave those 2 individuals the opportunity to get their taxes caught up for the year that we're be selling real estate. And one of them have, the other one has not. So it'll come tomorrow by 5 o'clock. If the second one hasn't, then next week we'll begin to finalize the paperwork and ask Judge Rozier for a date to sell. And that will probably be, when we ask him for a date, it'll probably be 5 weeks after that. Then we will set a sale date and move forward with that tax sale. That's all I have. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Under notices and communications, DSNO is going to have flipped the switch on their solar field. We're invited to that. That's going to be May 18th. So we'll announce that again at a later date. We also have a letter from Julia Brandt. It's on behalf of Save Dixon County in regards to the turbines. That, and of course, once again, this is not a county project, but you know, obviously there's discussion and things going on throughout the county, and some people are being approached to have opportunity to either sign on with a company or not.
Mhm.
And so it's not something that has been brought officially to the county yet, other than we're aware that some discussions are taking place. We also had another letter from Kay Hoffman, and along the same line, she lives on 1100 Avenue. And she had seen the article in the newspaper on the proposed wind farm. And since it would surround her property, she has a concern about that. And so some of the issues that are brought up on the safety, what it would involve as far as the roads are improved, what it would look like, but we do not have anything official. And Janelle's nodding her head, so I don't know if you want to.
Official, so we're hearing it's probably going to be later this year before the application will be submitted. We'll have more information coming in the next few months as to when that could take place.
Okay. And it will be something that they will have to have, you might say, official action or approval.
Correct.
So just because they maybe sign up half a dozen or more land property owners doesn't mean that they can just walk in and do that.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of steps.
Right, go through a conditional use permit process, and then it'll go to the planning and zoning board, who then will make a recommendation for or against to the county commission, and we'll have a public hearing for that, and county commission will make a determination. And there's conditions that can be put on the permit as well.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Lynn, I did get a call from Karen King. Kellogg, I'm seeing Karen Kellogg in regard to the wind generators and the opposition of thinking about those, wanting to build a home out in rural areas and having to look at that. So I wanted to bring that to the commissioner's attention that we are receiving some phone calls like that of opposition of the building.
And having said that, I had someone mention the other day or ask me if I'd received many comments, and, you know, I don't know that I have. I mean, occasionally people bring it up in passing, but you know, there's a few more intense on their questions or comments. Not intense in a bad way. I mean, they're looking at the issue and it's going to impact them. So, okay, we'll go ahead and move on. The next item we have is a resolution. This is resolution 042023.
Have an extra 2 in there.
This is to appoint Sharon Myers to a board, North Central Flint Hills Board. I mean, Sharon, well, thank you. There's 3 A's still.
One title.
It's, and Laveda Montgomery is here, who also serves on that board. So, Sharon, do you briefly just want to tell us a little bit about yourself? And I mean, I know you and
Thank you.
and know you're in the south part of the county and so on, but just for a few minutes of introduction,
Thank you. I live in Carlton.
and maybe step the podium, because I think
Oh.
over here, because they can, if someone's watching online, they can see you or
Thank you.
hear you better.
Good morning. I moved to Carlton about 5 years ago. We live in the house that my husband grew up in. We met in Colorado. I'm a California native, but my grandmother was actually born in Hiawatha, Kansas, and my great-great-grandparents homesteaded in Hiawatha after the Civil War. So when I first moved here and everybody said, "Oh, you're from California," I said, "Guess what? I have deep roots in Kansas." So I have a heart for seniors. My grandmother growing up actually had a rest home where she took in seniors because my grandfather was a World War I vet and he was disabled. So I always grew up with extra grandparents at holiday time and grew to love them and value the experience and the wisdom that they bring, even as a young person. I've had a very rich career selling insurance, working for corporate America, owning my own business, and kind of a diverse. I've lived in California, Nevada, Colorado, Wyoming, and now Kansas. So about 4 years ago, I started doing marketing for Enterprise Estates Nursing Center. And at the time, I asked Pamela Black, who was the administrator, if there was a networking group for seniors in Dickinson County. And she said no, she didn't think there was. So I started one, Dickinson County Senior Network. And what I found was everybody that works in the senior industry is very concerned because we're all going to be a senior at some time. And what I found was if they didn't offer a service, they wanted to know somebody else that they could refer someone to. But also going around the table at that first meeting, it was amazing when people said who they worked for and what they did. Somebody else would say, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know your company offered that. So the sharing of ideas and collaborating, I thought was very powerful. So we did that for a couple of years and met just on a quarterly basis. We took a sabbatical because of, our world changed. And then we started this past 2 years ago now, we did our first Celebrate Seniors, which we came to your council and you granted us a proclamation. So it was a little bit like the Sunflower event that Saline County does and the Area on Aging puts on over in Salina. But we wanted to do something for Dickinson County. So that was a very successful event in September. The committee is working again. We moved it to the end of August this year, but it'll just be a half day. So I have gotten involved with seniors. Through the Area on Aging, I've also been certified as a master trainer. I love all these titles in a matter of balance. And we had our first class here in Abilene in the month of March. We had 12 seniors that signed up and we did have 10 that completed the class. And that's just, when you say matter of balance, people think it's all about exercise classes. It really is about changing your beliefs about balance, but also about your fear of falling. And so many seniors change their life when they become fearful. So that class was, I think it's a wonderful class. So we're looking for more people to help with that. So when I was approached that I could possibly serve on this board, I said yes. I'm very interested in seniors, also young people too. But I think that.
I mean, Janelle, Marcus is over here.
Other people in the audience. Wow.
Just kind of breaking it up a little bit. Don't take that serious.
Something to look forward to. So I'm very honored to serve in this capacity and work with Lavina and other people around the state just to enhance the lives and the conditions of our seniors.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate your comments. And of course, we know each other a little bit, and I just knew you were very, very involved in the community. Although you've been here for 5 years, you've kind of already established quite a footprint and
Thank you.
spoke at our Rotary Club and a few things like that. So, and Lavina, thank you for your continued service on this board.
You're welcome.
So,
She seemed very interested. I was like, that's what I need.
and we had the opening, so.
Get you practice saying no.
Well, thank you for your comments, and
Is there anyone have any questions of me?
Welcome to Kansas.
Thank you.
welcome back. Yeah. Brooks wise, yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and make the motion that we adopt resolution 042023 to appoint Sharon Myers to this board.
I'm actually Sharon Roberts Meyer.
Okay.
Meyer without an S.
Without an S. Roberts has an S, Meyer doesn't.
Okay. We'll have it correct. We'll have it correct on our resolution.
It is correct on the resolution.
And I'll second that.
So after I said I know you well. Okay, we have the motion, we have the second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Welcome aboard, and
Thank you.
we'll probably hear occasionally from you and Lavina from time to time, or if you have anything information we need to know, I mean, take it to this young lady, Janelle. And
We have each other's emails. That's right.
okay. We do not have any unfinished business. We'll go on to other business. First item we have under other business to approve the purchase of 2 ambulances. Janelle?
So as you recall, in December of 21, we proposed purchasing ambulances that would not be delivered till the end of 23, beginning of 24. And we find ourselves in the same situation, unfortunately, for that. So this is just putting our name on the list that we are interested in purchasing ambulances. We have 2 that we're going to replace. Actually, 1 will be new, the other one will be remounted. And this gets us in the line to get that. And they will not be delivered till the end of 25 and the beginning of 26. So we thought it was imperative that we go ahead and get on the list and make sure that we're prepared to purchase them. Now, a new ambulance, what they're estimating is $316,861. And this would be from Osage Ambulances. It's the same one we've purchased for the past few years.
That's what it's going to cost for their system.
This is what they actually, let me make sure.
You said that.
Quotation valid.
It's valid, but the chassis cost will be an estimated cost. The chassis is $63,020. And then a remount. So for the past few years, we have been able to remount the box of the ambulance on a new chassis. And we have 1 ambulance that will be remounted. And we're replacing 2 ambulances that will be well into 100,000 miles, well over 100,000 miles on that. And the remount would be $229,420, and the estimated chassis cost is $68,250. So these are for a 2025 Osage type ambulance that we're proposing, and it's similar to the ones that we purchased that we will receive at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. So we're asking that you would approve the purchase of the 2 ambulances.
So move.
And I'll second it.
We have the motion and the second. Any other discussion?
You might have to know about the trade-in of the vehicles.
So they're proposing a trade-in of the vehicles of $28,000 and $30,000 possibly on the ambulances that we have. And we're replacing a Horton and a Freightliner ambulance. So, and as we continue down this path, we'll evaluate, we'll watch what Purple Wave or Gov Deals are receiving on ambulances. If we decide to sell them versus trading them in, we'll evaluate that as it gets a little closer when we start, when we get closer to the end of this deal. So.
Okay. Any other question? We have the motion and the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item we have is a proposal to paint the Highway Department building, and you brought forward some estimates on that. Janelle?
I did, yes. This is, Martin had been visiting with me about this, and as you know, we have 2 new buildings down there. The older buildings are looking a little rough, and we thought it would be time to paint them. He's tried to get a couple different bids, but unfortunately we were not able to. Now, one of them is to both of them are to power wash the county buildings and repaint everything. We're going to paint them white with blue trim, and also the salt shed that's down there too, or the brine shed that's down there, we would paint that as well. The vendor is Rico's Quality Painting and Remodeling. We have a bid for $6,500 for the county highway shop where the bays are, and a bid for $3,500 for the salt shed or brine shed. But he is asking that we put 50% down, and he would purchase the materials for that. With that, the materials would be delivered to the county shop before we would proceed with that. So we're requesting that you approve the bid.
I have a question. What is, I've been down there, the building in good shape? I mean,
The building is in good shape.
good shape.
Roof's in good shape. The roof was replaced this last year. We had the hailstorm, and we had to, and we had to go in and actually do a more intensive repair. We put a roof like we have here at the courthouse on that. Yes. Yeah. So, and the gutters are new. They've updated windows. We've done some work on the inside and updated the restroom down there as well.
I knew we approved the proposal from Rico Quality Painting and Remodeling, the amount stated.
I'll second it.
We have the motion, we have the second for approval from Rico Quality Painting and Remodeling. Any other discussion? I will just mention that, a lot of times when it's a project that the scope isn't just huge, it doesn't make sense. I mean, sometimes people aren't going to travel miles to do something like that. So it's nice we can use a local known contractor.
Exactly.
And appreciate that. We had the motion and the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The next item we have is, as Craig had mentioned earlier, the commission will not meet next Thursday because we will be attending meetings in Hayes. And so there needs to be a motion that I can come in and sign payroll on behalf of the commission.
So move.
Second it.
Have the motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item we have that we added onto the agenda was a child care grant application. And it's just a letter of support. And they had called me also and had mentioned they're not requesting money from the county, but for this grant application, they need a letter of support.
Correct.
And do you have some of the details of that, Janelle? That you
This is through the Community Child Care Capacity Accelerator Grant that the Children's Cabinet Trust Fund has. And I spoke to Robin about this morning briefly. And they're partnering with the Abilene Child Care Learning Centers. There's two, and the Discovery Child Care Learning Center in Harrington. And between the two of them, they have 61 years of history of providing child care. And as we all know, child care is very important in this county, and that's a focus that we have chosen to pursue because we have employers out there that can't get employees because there's no child care. So we thought if we could assist with getting child care, quality child care in there. And the learning centers also are preparing those children to enter school. It's infant to kindergarten, and then they'll move into the grade school. So we think that this is an important piece of this. And Robin asked us to write a letter of support, and that's what we would like to do. And it's possibly opening up 55 additional slots in the county. So that's huge. And then, as you mentioned, we've got the Little Lions Learning Center in Hope that will be hosting an open house this Sunday. And I believe they have, I want to say 12 slots. And then between the Child Care Center in Solomon and the Child Care Center in Harrington, which the county through the ARPA funds provided money for the building, but the school's taking on that responsibility. They'll utilize their staff, their food service program, their janitorial staff to run it. Same thing. So, and that's an additional, at minimum, 50 additional slots there. So we're taking a bite out of this, which is good.
It's not only childcare, but indirectly, or maybe I should say directly, workforce development, because that gives opportunity for people to get out in the workforce if they have a good quality childcare. And I happened to visit with one of the school board members, Levita, you'll never guess who.
Yeah, I don't know.
But my daughter had mentioned, because it's right across the street there at the school, they had 27 openings here a few weeks ago. And the first week, I think 20 of those were spoken for.
Wow.
And so I imagine it's filled up by now. So. Okay, is there a motion to go ahead and sign that letter of support?
So move.
Second it.
We have the motion, the second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned.